Right now on Denver 7 News at 6 a.m. Time to face the finalists. In hours, the Douglas County School Board will interview candidates for superintendent.
I'm Denver 7's Colette Bordelon. The board is keeping their promise to fast track this process. I'll introduce you to the two finalists and who seems to be the front runner.
Plus, knowing exactly what your child is learning in school.
There's a desire for parents to fully understand what curriculum is being taught.
A new push for Colorado classrooms to be more transparent, and it's part of a nationwide trend.
And this spring-like weather is causing trouble for our trails. What's closing several popular areas today? Yeah, mud season came a little early this year, and then it gets tracked into all the homes.
Yes.
Good Thursday morning to you. I'm Brian Sanders.
And I'm Nicole Brady. Well, your window to get out and enjoy the nice temperatures sadly is closing. Lisa, first let's talk about this beautiful, wonderful day we have ahead before another storm.
Let's enjoy it while we can, right? Before we talk about that. But yeah, right now we're looking at beautiful conditions, mostly sunny skies out there today, and it's going to be a bright eastbound drive. And look at how fast things warm up. We're likely going to be right around 50 degrees by 9 o'clock this morning, 60 by 11. You've got patio weather in there for lunchtime, and then, well, patio weather for happy hour too. Near 70 this afternoon. We are talking low to even mid 70s here in town. Record high is 76, so Denver's just a few degrees off from it. Look at southeastern Colorado, summer-like conditions, 80s down near Pueblo, La Junta, and Lamar, more 50s again for the mountains. So yeah, that window is closing because tomorrow we're going to start to see an increase in cloud cover. That's right around 11 o'clock tomorrow, so we're going to be under a partly sunny sky, snow and rain developing on the western slope by mid-morning tomorrow, and then we're going to see a chance for some of that rain and snow here, likely late Friday into Saturday. I'll show you the change and just how much colder it's going to get. We have one day this weekend, Jason, that's going to be about 40 degrees colder than what we'll see today.
All right, and a lot wetter than we have it right now. Clear and dry roads for the most part, but we do have one crash over here in the North Denver Commerce City area, just off of about 56th and 58th or so in Holly, right in here. Take a look from Air Tracker 7, which is looking at the intersection, which is basically closed off. Some of the folks are trying to get around it, and they should be hauling out of here in just a minute as they have most of the crash up on the tow trucks, as you can see. So they'll be pulling out of here up in Commerce City in just a minute. You can get around it fairly easily for us right now. These folks are just going to turn around and use the next street over. Take a look at the overall drive there on 270, getting a little bit busier. That's very typical. Same thing on I-76 and I-25, but nothing else major going on for us, and all the overnight construction has been picked up and moved out of the way.
Douglas County is now closer to naming its new superintendent. The school board has narrowed down its search to two finalists. The announcement comes less than a month after the board voted to fire former superintendent Corey Wise.
This morning, we're going 360 on politics impacting our kids in the classroom. First, the controversial superintendent search, also a push to make school elections more partisan, and a new bill requiring Colorado districts to be more transparent about curriculum.
Denver 7's Colette Bordelon kicks off our team coverage this morning. And Colette, the school board in Dougco so far has kept its promise to fast track their search.
Yeah, the search for a new superintendent technically started in mid-February, so it's only taken the board a little more than 2 weeks to narrow down their lists and pick their finalists for that new superintendent position. Erin Kane, one of two candidates to be interviewed at noon today during a public meeting. Her name's been floated as the favorite. She's the executive director of schools for American Academy, a charter system. Kane served as interim superintendent for Douglas County Schools from 2016 to 2018. The other candidate is Danny Windsor, the executive director for the Parker region of Douglas County Schools, which he's been since the summer of 2020. Before that, he was with the district for over a dozen years. There was a motion to move Windsor forward as the only finalist, but that was defeated. Next Tuesday's board meeting will be the chance for public comment on the finalists, with an interview panel quizzing them on March 10th. The last public comment session before hiring the next superintendent is set for March 22nd. As for Corey Wise, who was fired from his superintendent position after holding it for a little less than a year, he's accepted a new job with Jeffco Public Schools. His attorneys did file an open records request in mid-February asking for all communications surrounding his firing. Live this morning, Colette Bordelon, Denver 7.
All right, thank you, Colette. Well, debates over masks and vaccines and remote learning have forced school board members to become a lot more political than they used to be. Here in Colorado, all school board candidates run under a nonpartisan title, but you can typically tell which way they lean on the political spectrum. We saw it during last year's Dougco elections, where more conservative candidates formed a group calling themselves Kids First, and others campaigned under the slogan Community Matters. Well, now more districts all over the country are allowing school board candidates to tie themselves to a political party. Our national team visited Fayette County, Tennessee, where for the first time this year, they chose to have partisan school board races with candidates running as either a Democrat or Republican. Those in support of the move say it better informs the voters. However, others say it could force school board primary elections, and that makes elections and campaigning more divisive. So while school board elections become more competitive, Colorado lawmakers are considering limiting how much people can donate to those campaigns. A bill making progress in the legislature right now would cap individual contributions at $2,500 per candidate and donations from small committees to $25,000. In the last election, Douglas County candidates raised more than $90,000 each. Some individual donors gave upwards of $20,000 to their candidate.
Well, from the school board to the state house, even to the State of the Union, parents are raising their voices.
They're tired of politicians who tell parents they should sit down, be silent, and let government control their kids' education and future.
Republican lawmakers in at least a dozen states are turning parents' concerns into bills. One bill up for a hearing in Colorado's House Education Committee today would require school districts to be more upfront about what kids are learning.
House Bill 1066, sponsored by Republican Tim Geithner, would require school districts to post on their websites all textbooks and materials being used for all subjects, any surveys kids are given in school, and information about professional development or training teachers are undergoing.
So right now what you're seeing is there's a desire for parents to fully understand what curriculum is being taught at their schools. When everyone went to that e-learning environment, parents became a lot more aware of what their child was learning from.
But it wasn't just remote learning that seems to have caused new tensions between parents and their schools. In districts across the country, some parents have raised their voices about the teaching of race relations and history. Falcon School District 49 in Geithner's House District specifically banned the teaching of critical race theory earlier this year. But Geithner says schools in Colorado already have to follow rules about teaching controversial topics, and that this bill is just about giving parents easier access to information that can help them make the best choice for their child.
Being able to see what type of curriculum is being offered, maybe there's a better fit as I do that long-term planning.
While easing the burden for parents, he says this won't add work for teachers.
This shouldn't burden teachers. This is a requirement for the school district. And I wrote it very, very carefully that way.
Yeah, the bill faces an uphill battle in our Democratic-controlled legislature, but if it passes, Denver Public Schools told me the majority of their district-managed schools already use district-supported curriculum that they could easily post online. However, for schools that do not use the district curriculum, they would have to collect and share all of those resources at the school level.
Well, this morning, a Colorado mother has an urgent plea to other parents about fentanyl. The synthetic opioid is 100 times stronger than morphine, and last year, more than 800 Coloradans died because of it. Denver 7's Jessica Crawford joins us this morning, and Jessica, a mom that we spoke to, nearly lost her child to fentanyl, and she wants other parents to know the things to watch out for.
Yeah, we're working to get Jessica's mic on.
The mother that we spoke to wants us to conceal her identity as the investigation into her daughter's overdose continues. She says her daughter thought that she was taking oxycodone, but really took a counterfeit pill that was laced with fentanyl, a chemical that can kill in very small doses. The DEA says there's an entire list of emojis that are used to buy and sell drugs on social media. On Snapchat specifically, the emoji depicting an electrical plug is often used to show a dealer has access to illicit drugs. When shown next to a blue circle emoji, it can mean the dealer has access to Percocet or oxycodone. The mother who spoke to us is grateful that her daughter was saved by a friend who performed CPR.
I didn't even know she was going to be okay. You know, some of these kids don't come back okay. They don't come back. They come back brain damaged. They come back with parents that have to care for them 24/7. They're never the same. I show her these videos because I want her to be afraid. I want her to be really, really afraid.
Snapchat told Denver 7 it's committed to fighting the national fentanyl crisis, saying in part that they are working tirelessly to eradicate drug dealers from the platform. Denver 7's Public Health and Environment Department offers free fentanyl testing strips and Narcan, which can help treat an overdose in emergency situations. We have where you can sign up for those on thedenverchannel.com. I'm Jessica Crawford, Denver 7.
Thank you, Jessica. Very important information. Many of us, of course, are enjoying this warmer weather right now, but it's led to trail closures. Jefferson County Open Space closed several popular parks because of mud. The current closure list includes Apex, White Ranch East, Matthews Winters, and Deer Creek.
One of the challenges we have is that when folks show up and they encounter mud, for whatever reason, they don't want to walk through it. They want to go around it. Once the first person does it, then the next person does it. And it's amazing the impact it has on the plant life and this trail structure on either side.
Yeah, Jeffco asks on muddy days that you find a paved trail or a trail with crushed rock. You can sign up for park closure alerts on the Jefferson County website. Lisa.
I like to run right through it. I feel like the dirtier I get after a run, the cooler I look, and it looks like I actually did something, right? Speaking of, I took the dogs for a walk yesterday, undersides and paws covered in mud. Upper 60s here by noon. We're going to see again more melting. Should be at around 73 degrees between about 4 and 5 o'clock. How about you, Jace, when you go for a run? You like to run through the mud?
I sure do. Oh, man, I love the wind going through my hair, running. All right, I'm just too big to go running anymore. All right, so this drive on 285, this is the outbound side. This is the northbound side of 285 coming back towards Denver, and it looks like it's closed down right now at North Turkey Creek. That would be before you get to the park and ride, so there's a serious crash in there. The southbound side is open, so folks are trying to get around it. South Turkey Creek Road is open if you want to get that over to where that dental office is, and then you can access 285 once again, but it's a big delay, obviously, as the northbound side of 285 is closed down.
We're going to get Jason in the Boulder here on Memorial Day. If you have concerns about your bank or a lender treating you unfairly, you can now report it to the government.
And it's Denver's unofficial holiday. Happy 303 Day. We have some of the best deals you can find around town.